Hi friends, today let's look at another major play of William Shakespeare, Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar was a highly successful but ambiguous political leader of Rome, and his goal was to become an unassailable dictator. Caesar is one that he must beware the ideas of Marx. The prophecy comes true and Caesar is assassinated. Marcus Brutus is a well-respected Roman senator who helps plan and carry out Caesar's assassination, which he believes will rid Rome of a tyrant. Caesar's friend Mark Antony provides the famous funeral oration, "Friends, Romans and countrymen." Brutus and Cassius meet their inevitable defeat. Brutus, the noble Roman, whose decision to take part in the conspiracy for the sake of freedom plunges his country into civil war. The central psychological drama of the play that revolves around Brutus' struggle for honor, patriotism, and friendship. The conspirators make clear that they did it for the good of Rome and do not attempt to flee the sea. The play ends with a tribute to Brutus by Antony because he is the only conspirator who acted for the good of Rome. The play begins on a Roman street with a confrontation between Flavius and Marullus, the Roman tribunes, and a crowd of citizens out to celebrate Caesar's arrival for the games. Now, let us look at the synopsis of the play.
As the play opens, Julius Caesar has just returned to Rome after defeating the sons of Pompey in the battle. Before we go any further, let's pause for a brief Roman history lesson. Pompey the Great was a member of the first triumvirate, and he and Caesar used to share power over Rome. Then Caesar and Pompey got into a big fight. Pompey lost. When he tried to run away to Egypt in 48 BC, he was assassinated. But Caesar still had a problem. Pompey's sons were determined to avenge their father's death and overthrow Caesar. So Caesar had tracked down Pompey's sons in Spain and stormed them out at the Battle of Munta in 45 BC. Now let's get back to the play. As Caesar parades through the streets of Rome like a rock star, the higher-ups in Rome are nervous about his growing power and his popularity with the commoners, who have abandoned their work to celebrate Caesar's triumphant return. Caesar seems headed toward absolute power, which is a big no in the Roman public. Meanwhile, the festival of the Lupercal, which means a big party where people run around in God's skin in the middle of February, is in full swing. Caesar is chilling at the festival with his entourage when a soothsayer runs up and says, "Beware the ideas of March," meaning, "Hey, watch your back on March 15. Caesar looks at the soothsayer and is all whatever man. While Caesar parties with his fans, Brutus and Cassius huddle together and talk to thrash him. Cassius is all bent out of shape because he thinks Caesar is running around acting like a king. Without coming right out and saying so directly, Cassius, who has been plotting against Caesar with a group of conspirators, suggests that maybe Brutus should lead Rome. Brutus says he gets what Cassius is saying, but he is also good friend with Caesar, so he needs a little time to think about things before he makes any decision. Brutus and Cassius run into Casca, a conspirator who reports that Antony just offered Caesar the crown 3 times. Casca is mad because each time Caesar pretended he didn't want the crown, which made the crowd of plebeians, that is the common folk, love him even more and more. Not only that, Caesar acted like a total drama queen and fainted or pretended to the 3rd time when Antony offered him the crown. This made the stinging crowd go nuts. A month passes, which means we are approaching the ideas of March. Casca and Cicero are running around in a violent thunderstorm and comment on all the crazy stuff that has been happening in Rome lately. A lion was roaming around and a bunch of men in flames were spotted walking around the streets. Cassius, who interprets these omens to mean that Caesar must be taken down, continues to plot against Caesar. He sends someone to plant fake letters from Roman commoners urging Brutus to eliminate Caesar, and even attends a meeting that night to plot Caesar's death. Meanwhile, Brutus has decided to go ahead and kill his friend Caesar, because the man might become a complete tyrant if he gains more power. Brutus reasons that killing Caesar is the only way to save the Roman public. Brutus finally meets with all the conspirators and they hatch a plan. They will arrange to bring Caesar to the Capitol so they can hack him into 1,000,000 little pieces. Meanwhile, Caesar has had a rough night, complete with a crying wife, California, who wants Caesar to stay at home because she had a bad dream and fears something awful is about to happen to him. But Caesar ultimately decides to go to the Capitol because Decius, one of the conspirators, steps in and says something like, "Oh, hey, when California dreamed that you were a statue full of holes and spouting blood, that just meant that you are going to be the greatest leader Rome has ever seen." Caesar is all, "Yeah, I think you are right." Decius promises that Caesar is going to be crowned king that day. Caesar goes skipping off to the Senate. On the way to Capitol, an old man tries to give Caesar a letter warning him about the assassination plot, but Caesar blows him off. At the Capitol, Caesar stands around bragging about how awesome he is. Just as he is making a big speech about how he is the brightest star in the sky, Cassius, Brutus, and other plotters surround him and stab him to death 33 times just to be sure. Before falling, Caesar looks up and says, "Yet tu Brute." Translation, "Even you, Brutus, what happened to us being the best buds forever?" The conspirators wash their hands in Caesar's blood so they can walk the streets and calmly tell everyone that Rome is free of tyranny. The idea is that they will seem more convincing about their plans for a new dawn of peace if they are dripping with Caesar's fresh blood. Surprisingly, instead of hailing Brutus and Cassius as saviors, the people of Rome run around declaring that it is a doomsday.
As we have seen the synopsis of the play, now let us look at some of the major quotes from the play. The quotes from Julius Caesar among the most Shakespeare's most famous including, "Beware the ideas of Mars, and friends, Romans and countrymen. The most famous quote is, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. Act 3, Scene 2. In Act 1, Scene 2, we see, but for my part, it was give to me. In Act 3, Scene 1, cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war. In Act 3, Scene 1, yet tu brute. In Act 3, Scene 2, not that I love Caesar less, but that I love Rome more.